Good morning. We're on the record. Good morning. As chairperson of the Alcoholic Beverage and Cannabis. Good morning. As chairperson of the Alcoholic Beverage and Cannabis Board for the District of Columbia, and in accordance with DC Code Section 2571 et seq. Of the Open Meetings Act (OMA), I am welcoming you to the regular scheduled meeting of the Alcoholic Beverage and Cannabis Board. This meeting is being conducted pursuant to guidance made available by the District of Columbia's Office of Open Government regarding electronic meetings held by public bodies. Electronic meetings by the ABC Board are authorized pursuant to Section 2577A of the DC Code. Pursuant to the OMA requirements, notice of today's meeting was provided 48 hours in advance of the meeting on ABCA's website and on the District Central meeting calendar. The notice included the time, date, agenda, and call-in or login information for public participation. This electronic meeting has been hosted by a WebEx account provided by the District of Columbia government. Please address any questions or complaints to the OOG at opengovoffice@dc.gov. My name is Donovan Anderson. I'm chairperson of the board. I would like to introduce the other members of the ABC board who are also participating electronically. Please respond when I announce your names. Mr. James Short.
Mr. James Short, present.
Mr. Silas Grant.
Mr. Silas Grant, present.
The board has 3 members in attendance for the conduct of business today, and that constitutes a quorum. Before we get underway with today's hearing calendar, I need to make a few instructions very clear so that the conduct of these hearings is understood by everyone. There are 14 cases scheduled for our calendar today. Once your case is called, I will take a moment for our IT specialists to elevate the rights for each party to enable their camera and microphone. Then and only then will you have the ability to enable your equipment. If your case is not being heard, you'll remain mute and your camera will be disabled. At the conclusion of each case, the parties will have the option to leave. If the party chooses to stay, all camera and microphones for the concluded case will be disabled. Should you have any questions or require technical assistance in the hearing, please submit them using the question and answer feature. We now move to our protest hearing status portion of the calendar. And our first case this morning is case number 24 PRO 00091, the Crank Corner, license number 125633. Good morning, Mr. Oriella. Can you please elevate the rights of the parties in this case?
Good morning. Donald Campbell, your access has been elevated. Frank Chauvin, your access has been elevated. And that appears to be all turn.
Thank you.
Hello?
If you have a camera, could you please turn your camera on? I can hear you, Mr. Campbell. Do you have a camera to turn on? And Mr. Chauvin, do you have a camera you can turn on, sir? Mr. Chauvin, Mr. Campbell, do you have cameras you can turn on? If you do not have a camera to turn on, then let me know. We'll move on.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to cut it.
I now see Commissioner Chauvin. Mr. Campbell, do you have? If you don't have a camera, we'll move on. Let me know, sir.
Got the camera on.
Well, it's not on, but anyway, Mr. Campbell, can you please spell and state your name for the record and your relationship to this establishment, sir?
Donald Campbell, DONALD CAMPBELL, and I'm the owner of the Crank Corner.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Mr. Chauvin, can you please spell and state your name for the record?
Yes, Frank Chauvin, FRANK, CHAUV as in Victor, IN as in Nancy.
And who do you represent, sir?
ANC 1B.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right, Mr. Campbell, do you have any preliminary matters you need to bring to the attention of the board?
Not really. We reviewed it, the agreement, signed the agreement about a week ago. We missed our scheduled meeting. I showed up at the last hearing, ready to sign, with the signed paperwork, just trying to get to the next step.
All right. Thank you for that representation, Mr. Chauvin.
No, nothing for the preliminary matter.
I guess Mr. Campbell is saying I don't care about the details, but I was do you believe that this case will be settled? Will
Yes.
a settlement agreement be reached between the parties, Mr. Chauvin?
Yes, settlement agreement is expected to be reached.
All right, fine. All right, then this matter then is scheduled for a a protest hearing on October 23rd, 2024 at 1:30. If the parties are confident that a settlement agreement will be reached, please let the board know as soon as possible so we will not assign an investigator to this case. All right, so good luck with your continued conversations, and if this matter will be settled, please provide the settlement agreement to the agency as soon as possible. So therefore, we will not assign an investigator to this case. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Mr. Campbell,
Right.
Mr. Chauvin, you have a great day. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Thank you. All right, the next case in our calendar is case number 24 PRO 00094 SETA Oasis, license number 129034. Mr. Oriana, can you please elevate the rights of the parties in this case?
Sure thing. Manala Mahmood, your access. Oops, apologies. Your access has been elevated, and Jeff Green, your access has been elevated. That is all, Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Green, do you have a camera you can turn on, sir?
Not today.
All right, okay. Ms. Mahmoud, can you please spell and state your name for the record?
Hi, good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Manal Mahmood with Malios O'Brien Sandground on behalf of SETA Oasis, MANALLE
Good morning, ma'am. Mr. Green, can you please spell and state your name for the record?
Sure. Full name is Jeffrey, Jeffrey, Green, Green, and I'm representing the community protest group.
It appears that were you, Ms. Mahmoud? Ms. Mahmoud, was the group, were they granted standing at the protest roll call?
They were granted conditional standing, Mr. Chair. I
And
believe
how
the
many
chat is showing other members.
how many members were supposed to show up today?
There should be five other members of the protest on the line waiting to join the call if necessary.
All right. Well, no. Well, hold on, Ms. Mahmoud. How many people were at the protest hearing status?
Just Mr. Green, Mr. Chair.
So there should be 4 other people today. So where are the folks who needs to be elevated?
They're on the call from my understanding.
Then can they identify themselves so they can be elevated, sir? So why don't you state who they are, the people who need to be elevated? They need to identify themselves in the chat so we can elevate them. And if all those folks, if they have cameras, please turn the cameras on. But we need at least 4 people who need to be elevated. All right, so Miss Cohn, can you please spell and state your name for the record?
Sure. It's Natalie Cohn, Natalie, and last name is Kone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good
Miss
morning.
Cragen, can you please spell and state your name for the record?
Or Caroline Cragen, Cragin, Caroline, Caroline, and I'll be on and off camera today.
You're here today, ma'am, so as long as you identify yourself, that's sufficient. Mr. Ringer, can you please identify yourself for the record?
Yes, hello. My name is Devin Ringer, DevinRingger, and I will also be on and off camera.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Mr. Leland, can you please spell and state your name for the record?
Yes, sir. My name is Joshua Leland. My name is spelled Joshua, and last name is Leland. Thank you for having us.
Good morning, sir. Ms. Mahmoud, are these the folks who had signed the protest letter?
They are, Mr. Chair.
I therefore make a motion that we provide full standing to the group of five or more. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short has seconded the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson agrees. The matter passed 3-0, and so therefore full standing is now granted to the group of five or more. All right, fine. Ms. Mahmoud, are there any preliminary matters in this case?
No, Mr. Chair, we have had extensive settlement talks with Mr. Green, but we have not yet reached a final settlement agreement.
Thank you. Mr. Green, any preliminary matters you want to bring to the attention of the board?
No, we're working on the settlement agreement, and I think we're getting close to something final that satisfies all parties.
Do the parties believe that this matter will be settled, or do you believe that we'll end up going to a protest hearing?
I can't say at this point until we get to an agreement.
Well, I'm just asking, sir. I was just saying sometimes
we are optimistic that we'll get to an agreement.
Then that's the answer I was asking. I didn't say nothing is sure. Okay, nothing is sure, but the reason why I asked, it's to know whether or not, as I'm not sure if you're aware, once we have a protest hearing, as soon as it gets close to the protest hearing, the board will assign an investigator who will contact both parties to find out what the protest issues are. And so if the agency is aware that settlement is going to be reached and that we're not going to have a protest hearing, then there's no need to assign an investigator. So that's one of the reasons why I was asking the question, sir. It's just just some information for the board to know whether or not we believe this case is going to be settled, or in about 2 weeks or so, do we need to assign an investigator who will contact both parties, draft a report, and get ready for a protest hearing. Okay, so that was the reason for asking. Okay,
Understandable.
Right. You're welcome, sir. All right, if this matter is not settled, then a protest hearing is scheduled for October 30th at 1:30 p.m. Now that we've scheduled this matter for a protest hearing, there are a few things that I would like to instruct the applicant and the protest about, so that the protest hearing is focused and addresses only those issues that are being protested. The board does not intend to hear testimony on matters that are not relevant to this case. You should have received by electronic or regular mail a letter explaining the protest process, a copy of the protest information form, and a copy of the exhibit form. If we do not have these documents, please contact our legal office following the hearing. It is imperative that you review the rules closely and adhere to them before and during the protest hearing. You are also required to complete and submit the protest information form PIP and the exhibit form 7 days before the date of the hearing. These two forms and accompanying documents must be submitted to ABCA's legal division and all opposing parties in this matter. If we do not receive a copy of your PIP, your application, or your protest, whichever side you're representing, may be subject to dismissal. Likewise, if we do not receive a copy of the exhibit form and the exhibits themselves, your exhibits may be excluded from the record upon a finding that the opposing party has been prejudiced or no good cause for the failure to submit has been shown. Likewise, witnesses other than a party may also be subject to exclusion if not identified on the PIP. Accordingly, these forms are very important. They greatly assist the board in narrowing the protest issues, facilitating the process, and keeping the parties on point during the hearing. They likewise provide notice to the opposing parties, enabling them to better prepare for the hearing. As you're aware, all our hearings are now conducted virtually. You will have 1 hour to present your case, and you will only be allowed to call 5 witnesses. If you require more time to present your case and require more than 5 witnesses, please file a motion with the agency, with the board requesting additional time and or additional witnesses. Are any questions?
No, Mr. Chair.
No.
Yeah.
Additional questions.
All right, we thank you greatly for your cooperation. If you have any questions today or at any time leading up to the hearing, please do not hesitate to contact ABCA's Legal Division. Thank you very much. Good luck with your discussion. And if this matter is not settled, I will see you at the protest hearing on October 30th, 2024. But again, I said, if you truly believe that this case will be settled, please let our legal office know as soon as possible. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and have a great day. All right.
All right.
All right. The next case on our calendar is case number 24PRO00090, therapy, license number 128751. Mr. Oriana, can you please elevate the rights of the parties in this case?
Sure. Jovan Davis, your access has been elevated, and that appears to be all, Chairman.
Okay, I'm here. I'm trying to find out how to activate the camera.
Is there anyone in line from ANCHC? If there is anyone from ANCHC, who's sharing the? Okay, I can see.
Okay, it's me.
All right, sir. Yeah. You can come back on camera, sir. Is there anyone from ANCHC? Mr. Davis, what happened to you?
I don't know. It went out.
I saw you for a minute.
Let's see.
I think you're.
I think I had to flip it.
I think you're doing it.
You're sharing the video. Click start video.
I don't see that on my side.
All right. Let's see on the call. I can see you, Mr. Davis.
Okay.
Is there anyone from ANCHC on the call? Call in once, call in twice. Anyone? If you're from ANCHC, please identify you so you can be elevated. Mr. Davis, can you please spell and state your name for the record and your relationship to this case?
My name is Jovan Davis, Jovan Davis, Davis, owner of Love More Therapy.
All right, good morning, sir. This is a protest hearing, and your application was protested by ANCHC. At the roll call, when the placard notice went out, there was a roll call scheduled that both the protestant and the owner had to show up at the roll call, and it is also mandatory that the licensee, the applicant, and the protestant show up at this hearing, the protest hearing status. This hearing was scheduled for 10:30 this morning. It is now 11:04. I called the case, and the licensee is here. The applicant is here, but there is no as of 11:04. There is no representative from ANCHC. So because there's no representative from ANCHC, I am going to make a motion to dismiss their protest. So therefore, I make a motion that the protest by ANCHC be dismissed. Is there a second?
Mr. Grant, I second the motion.
Mr. Grant has seconded the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short?
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant?
Mr. Grant, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree that the matter passed 3-0. What this means, Mr. Davis, the board will draft a motion, a board order dismissing ANCHC's protest. ANCHC will have 10 days to provide reasonable notice, reasonable cause to this board why they failed to show up today at the mandatory hearing. If they fail to respond, or if the board determines that their reasoning for not showing up today is not reasonable, based on the action that the protest was dismissed today, the board will direct the agency to move forward to approve your license without any restrictions, sir. Okay?
Okay.
You have a great day. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
We now move to our show cause hearing status calendar. The first case in our show cause hearing status calendar is case number 24 CIT 00091, Pole Vet USA, license number 116771. This hearing is canceled. An offering compromise has been provided to the board for its approval, for its review and approval. The next case in our calendar is case number 24 CIT 00314, license number 123209. Mr. Oriana, can you please elevate the rights of the parties in this case?
It appears that only the government is present. Anthony Sillo, your access has been elevated.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Sillo. Can you please spell and state your name for the record?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Assistant Attorney General Anthony Cello on behalf of the district, ANTHONY-CELO.
Good morning, sir. I haven't seen you in a minute. All right. The licensee is not here, but there's no requirement for the licensee to show up at a show cause hearing status. This matter, therefore, sir, is scheduled for a show cause hearing on October 23rd at 1:30 p.m. I just want to advise you, sir, and the parties that 7 days before the hearing, the parties are required to file their disclosures. Failure by either side to file the disclosure 7 days prior to the hearing on either side, unless reasonable cause is shown, the board is empowered to prevent that side from relying on documents and witnesses that have not been disclosed. Any questions, sir?
No.
Sir, thank you. All right. The next case on our calendar is case number 24 CIT 00192, Chapacuba, license number 121500. Mr. Oriana, can you please elevate the rights of the licensee in this case?
Getting confirmation that the licensee is trying to log in. Give me 1 minute.
All right, thank you.
Oh, it was for Posh Lounge, Chairman. Should we proceed?
Oh, that was
I guess the prior one.
Does the licensee want to appear?
It appears that they're trying. I'm gonna work with them to see if they could get on.
So for Mr. Phillip, were there any preliminary matters in the Posh Lounge?
An offer has been extended. We have not received any response yet.
All right. So I just then, since there's no preliminary matters, I want the record to reflect that it's my understanding for case number 24 CIT 00314 Posh Lounge that the licensee was having some technical difficulties, and so the record should reflect that they were trying to get in and they're having some technical difficulties. So I guess the parties, if this matter is going to be settled or was through an offer and compromise, then the parties can follow up. But there's no requirement for the licensee to be here. But since the licensee was having some technical difficulties, I want the record to reflect that the licensee was attempting to participate in the hearing today. So we can move on to the other case.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
And so let me now recall case number 24 CIT 00192 Chapacuba, license number 121599. And so are you saying that there's the licensee is not on? Is there a licensee for this case?
Not in the attendee area.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Philo, can you identify yourself for the record, please?
Assistant Attorney General Anthony Cello on behalf of the district and THONY CELO.
Good morning, Mr. Cello. The licensee is not here. There is no requirement for a licensee to show up at a show cause hearing status. So this case is scheduled for a show cause hearing on October 23rd at 1:30 p.m. Mr. Cello, just want to remind you that the licensee, that the parties are required to exchange documents and witnesses 7 days prior to the hearing. Failure by either side to exchange documents and witnesses 7 days prior to the hearing, the board is empowered to prevent that side from relying on documents and witnesses that have not been disclosed 7 days to either side. Any questions, sir?
Can I get that date and time one more time? I apologize.
October 23rd at 1:30 p.m.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. The next case on our calendar is case number 24 CMP 00026 Pop Social, license number 112530. Doriana, can you please elevate the licensee in this case?
No licensee, Chairman.
All right, thank you. Mr. Cello, can you please identify yourself for the record?
Assistant Attorney General Anthony Cello on behalf of the district and THONY CELO.
Good morning, sir. The licensee is not here this morning, but for a show cause hearing status, there's no requirement for the licensee to appear. This matter then is scheduled for a show cause hearing on October 30th at 1:30 p.m. Just want to remind the government and the missing licensee that you are required, if this matter is going to go to the hearing on October 30th, you are required 7 days before the hearing to exchange documents and witnesses that will be relied upon at the hearing. Failure by either side to disclose documents and or witnesses 7 days before the hearing, unless reasonable cause is shown, the board is empowered to prevent that side from relying on documents and or witnesses that have not been disclosed 7 days prior to the hearing. Any questions, sir?
No, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. All right, our next case is case number 23 CMP 00083 Kiddos Lounge, license number 119361. It's my understanding that there is a interpreter here, and so please elevate the interpreter and the licensee, please.
Sure thing. Kiddish Shea, your access has been elevated. And Mescarum Balco, your access has been elevated. That is all, Chairman.
Thank you. Kiddish Shea, can you turn your camera on if you have a camera to turn on, please? No, you need to have a camera to turn on. Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Balku, you are the interpreter, is that correct? Yes. All right. Please unmute your line, Ms. Balku. Can you please spell and state your name for the record and identify yourself and your role today, ma'am?
Meskeram Balko, Meskerem, first name, last name Balkew. I'm the Amharic interpreter.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you raise your right hand, ma'am? Do you swear or affirm to faithfully interpret these proceedings from English into Amharic and from Amharic into English to the best of your abilities?
I do.
Thank you. You can raise your right hand. Miss, I'm not sure if you need to ask Miss Shea for her to spell and state her name for the record.
ቅድስት እንደምናደርሽ
ሰላም እንዴት ነሽ?
ስምሽንና የአባትሽን ስም የአያትሽን ስም ስፔል አድርገሽ ተናገሪ።
እሺ ቅድስት KIDIST last name SHAY.
Good morning. I'm sorry, Mr. Silla. I got. Can you please identify yourself for the record?
Assistant Attorney, no translation. Okay. Assistant Attorney General Anthony Cello, on behalf of the district, ANTHONY CELO.
አንቶኒ ሴሎ እባላለሁ። የዲስትሪክት አቶርኒ ነኝ። ይህንን ጉዳይ የሚያዩት መንግስት ወክለው የመጡት ተወካይ ናቸው።
እሺ
Mr. Sella, are there any preliminary matters?
The district has extended an offer in compromise to the licensee. We have not heard back yet.
በዚህ ጉዳይ ላይ የሚያቀርቡት ማስረጃ አለ ወይ ብለው ነው የጠየቋቸው። ለእናንተ ኮምፕሮማይዝ የማቻቻል ፕሮፖዛል ከንላቸው ከነሱ መልስ እየጠበቅን ነው። ከነሱ አልሰማንም ነው የሚሉት።
Michelle, do you have the preliminary matters, meaning that not substantive, but just any preliminary matters you want to bring to the attention of the board?
ዛሬ ለቦርዱ የሚያቀርቡት ማስረጃ ይታይልኝ የሚሉት ነገር አለ? ምንም የለዎትም?
ማለት እኔን ወክሎ ሪፕሬዘንት ቢያደርግልኝ ፈልገው ሰው አለ?
I have someone to represent me and present my case.
And who is that person that she has to represent? Who is that person to represent her?
ማን ይባላሉ እሳቸው?
አየለ በለጠ።
Mr. አየለ በለጠ።
And where is that person today?
የት አሉ እሳቸው?
አጠገቤ ነው ያለው።
He's right here.
Can you put him on camera and he needs to spell and state his name for the record?
ካሜራ ላይ ሆኑና ስማቸውን እስከ አያታቸው ይናገሩ።
አየለ በለጠ AYELEBELETE.
And you're representing her this morning as and are you an attorney, sir?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
No, I'm not.
Okay, I just so you are the non-attorney representative. Or that's fine. I'm sorry. What's your name again, sir?
ስሞት ማን ነው? እንደገና ቀስ ብለው ስፔል ያድርጉላቸው። ፈርስት ኔም ላስት ኔም ብለው።
ፈርስት ኔም አየለ AYELE, last name በለጠ BELETE.
Pronounce it for me because I want to refer to you. That's why I want you to tell me what your last name is.
ስሞትን ይበሉልኝ።
Call me በለጠ.
Valletta, Mr. Valletta. All right. Do you have any preliminary issues? Not substantive, just any preliminary issues you want to bring to the attention of the board?
ዝርዝር ውስጥ ሳይሆን ማስረጃ ሳይሆን ዛሬ ይታይልን ጉዳዩ ከመታየቱ በፊት የምታቀርቡት ነገር አለ?
የሚቆራረጥ ነገር ስላለው በትክክል አልሰማሁሽም።
ዋናው ጉዳዩን የሚመለከት መስራ ነገሩን ሳይሆን ለዛሬ በቅድሚያ ይታይልን የምትሉት ወይ የምታቀርቡት ነገር ካለ ነው።
አይ ከመንግስትም በኩል የደረሰን ነገር የለም፣ እኛም ያዘጋጀነው ነገር የለንም።
No, we didn't receive anything from the district and we didn't prepare anything today.
All right, that's fine. Who's Mr. Sella? Whose case is this?
This is mine. The offer and compromise was sent on Monday. I would ask for a valid email so that I can make sure that it does get to them.
ይሄ የማቻቻል ኮምፕሮማይዙን ኦፈር ያቀረቡላችሁ መንዴ ነው የተላከላችሁ። ስለዚህ በትክክል እንዲደርሳችሁ ትክክለኛ ኢሜይል አድሬሳችሁን ንገሩን።
ኦኬ መንዴ ምንም የደረሰን ኢሜይል የለም፣ ግን ኢሜይሌ AYELEBELETE@yahoo.com.
We didn't receive any email on Monday, but my email address is my first name and last name at yahoo.com. I'll spell it for you. AYELEBELETE@yahoo.com.
All right. I did send an email to that email address as well as another contact address that ABCA had on file. The one to AYELEBELETE@yahoo.com kicked back to me as undeliverable.
በዚህ ኢሜይል እና በሌላ እናንተ በሰጣችሁኝ ኢሜይል ልኬ ነበር። ነገር ግን ይሄ አሁን እርስዎ የሰጡኝ ኢሜይል የተላከው ይሄ ኢሜይል የላኩት ኢሜይል ተመልሷል። ምክንያቱም ኢሜይል አድሬስ ትክክል ስላይደለ ወይም የተዘጋው የማይሰራ ኢሜይል ነው።
ኢሜይሉ ትክክለኛ ኢሜይል ነው። ከገቨርንመንትም የምላላክበት ኢሜይል ነው። ከገቨርንመንትም ጠይቀው ማግኘት ይችላሉ። ኢሜይሌ ቫሊድ ነው።
This is the email we use to receive correspondence from the district or the government. It is valid, it is working. You can check the file from the office.
I have put my email in the chat. I would ask that you please send me an email and I can respond. Maybe that will work better.
ስለዚህ አሁን እዚህ ቻቱ ላይ እሳቸው ሚስተር ሴሎ ኢሜይል አድሬሳቸውን ያስቀምጣሉ። እርስዎ በዛ ኢሜይል የእርስዎን ኢሜይል ይላኩላቸው። ወደ እርሳቸው ኢሜይል ሲልኩ የእርስዎ ኢሜይል ትክክለኛ ይደርሳቸዋል እና በዛ እንዲልክሎት እዚህ ቻቱ ላይ ይመልከቱ።
ኦኬ
ይሄ ይታዩታል ኢሜይላቸው እያዩት ነው? Okay. You did get your email.
All right, so the email address. All right, so all right. If this matter is not settled, it's now scheduled for a show cause hearing on October 30th at 10:30 a.m.
ስለዚህ ይሄ ጉዳይ መስማማት ካልተደረሰበት ጉዳዩ እንዲሰማ ለኦክቶበር 13 24 ተቀጥሯል። Sir, you said October 13th.
30.
October 30. What time, sir?
10:30 a.m.
ጠዋት 10 ተኩል ላይ ተቀጥሯል። 10:30 ላይ
እሺ ሚስተር ሻይ የእሷ ዴሊቨሪ ዴይ 3 ሳምንት ነው የሚቀረው እና በዛ ሰዓት ላይ አቬለብል ሆና ልትቀርብ ስለማትችል ቀኑ ኤክስቴንድ እንዲደረግልን እንፈልጋለን ትንሽ።
Miss Shay is the delivery date is in 3 weeks, due date. So he's asking to extend the date. She might not be able to attend the meeting, so to extend the date.
All right. So how much time is she asking for?
ምን ያህል ጊዜ ይሰጠን ብላችሁ ነው የምትጠይቁት?
If it's possible, end of November.
End of November?
All right. I cannot do that, but as an oral motion was made to extend the timeline based on the licensee's delivery date. And so I'll have the agency reach out to both the licensee and the government to see if a reasonable time can be, if we can come up to another date to reschedule this hearing. All right, I think that's a reasonable good cause if the licensee is saying that she's due to deliver a baby in 3 weeks, and so she's asking for more time to schedule it. Yes, sir.
Obviously, the district does not oppose that request.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Zila. So I'll have the agency reach out to both parties with another date to schedule this hearing.
ስለዚህ ይሄ አብካ እናንተንም ገቨርንመንቱንም ለሁለታችሁም ሌላ ቀጠሮ አስይዞ ከኦክቶበር 30 ሌላ ቀጠሮ ይዞ ለሁለታችሁም እንዲደርስ ይደረጋል። በእነሱ በኩል ይላክላቸዋል።
And in the interim, the government, it's my understanding, the government made an offer in compromise. So if this matter can be settled, then the parties should review the offer in compromise to see if it's acceptable.
መንግስት ለእናንተ የማቻቻል ኮምፕሮማይዝ ፕሮፖዛል ሰጥቷችኋልና በዛ ላይ ስምምነት ከደረሳችሁ ብትደርሱ የእንትን ይባላል ይመረጣል ነው። Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
መልካም ቀን። ደህና ዋሉ። እግዚአብሔር ካንቺ ጋር ይሁን።
አሜን። ሌላም ኬዝ አለን ዛሬ፣ አንድ ኬዝ ብቻ አይደለም።
He said they have another case today.
No, that's the only case that's on our calendar today. There's no other.
እሱ ብቻ ነው።
I think we have a case number 0004.
That is not on my calendar. Mr. Sila, are you aware of another case that's scheduled for today? That's on the calendar? I don't have that case.
ካላንደር ላይ ይሄ ሌላ የለም ያለው ይሄ ብቻ ነው ነው የሚሉት እና እሳቸውም እየጠየቋቸው ነው።
I am not, Mr. Chair. I am looking to see if I have any record of a 0004 involving Kids Lounge that's on my calendar. I'm not aware of it. I see no record of it today.
የለም እኔም ጋር የለም ነው የሚሉት።
እሺ፣ እግዚአብሔር ይስጥልን፣ እናመሰግናለን።
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, and I believe that's the end of your day, Mr. Unless I don't have any other cases with you, sir.
I don't see anything on the calendar, Mr. Chair.
All right. Thank you, sir. You have a great day.
Thank you.
All right. The next case on our calendar is case number 2425100007, Safe House SAUF HAUS, license number 86803. This case is this case is canceled due to the submission of an offer in compromise for the board's review and consideration and approval. The next case on our calendar is a pub crawl hearing, and the fact-finding hearing on a pub crawl. Megan Beam for a pub crawl to be scheduled for October 26th. It's a DC Halloween Crawl Entertainment Manufacturer LLC. So can we have Miss Megan Bean? So Mr. Oria, can you please elevate the rights of Miss Megan Bean?
Sure. Megan Bean, your access has been elevated. That's all, Chairman.
Thank you. If you have a camera, please turn it on, Miss Bean.
Alrighty, hopefully this will work. Oh, perfect.
Good morning. Can you please spell and state your name for the record, ma'am?
Yes, my name is Megan Bean, Megan, last name Bean, B as in boy, EAN, as in Nancy.
And what organization do you work with, ma'am? What's the name of the business?
The overarching name is Crawl With Us, but the LLC is Entertainment Factory.
So can you tell us a little bit about Crawl With Us, the company?
Yeah, we're a national bar crawl company. We work in a little over 135 cities, give or take, including DC and some surrounding cities. We plan multiple crawls throughout the year. So Halloween tends to be our largest one, but we also do Christmas events. We do a onesie event, St. Patrick's Day and Pride. So not in every single city, but we do many of them throughout the country throughout the year.
Have you ever had a pub crawl in DC before?
Yes. Yeah.
When
Many
was the
times.
what was the last pub crawl that was approved by the agency, by the board?
I believe it would have been St. Patrick's Day. We did one for Pride, but we only did under 200, so we didn't end up going through with the permitting process. So I believe St. Patrick's Day would have been the last one.
And so you're applying for a pub crawl on October 26th.
Correct.
So where is it that you're requesting what neighborhood?
It's going to be in the Penn Quarter area, kind of that Chinatown area. Our check-in is going to be at Spin, DC. So that's
And
off of F Street.
And how many what's the capacity? How many people are you expecting you're asking for approval for?
We had asked for approval for 1,000. Right now we are predicting about 320 with how many tickets we've sold and kind of our internal numbers, but we've sold 33 tickets as of right now. Last year for Halloween we did 197. So likely it won't get up to that 1,000 number, but we kind of request over just in case. But in any rate, whatever the permit would be, we would just cap our ticket sales at.
So tell me about your check-in process.
Yeah.
Tell us about your check-in process, please.
Yeah, so our participants purchase tickets through Eventbrite. So each one of them will have a QR code that is scanned in by our event staff. So my event manager has worked several of our events in DC, so she's pretty knowledgeable. Our security team that we hire from KT and C Security will be there as well. And they will be verifying IDs and whatnot. And then the crawlers get badges for the crawl. So that's provided by us. They use those badges at all of our venues, so the venues know who's participating in the event. So all of our venues offer like specials for the crawlers, so that's how they redeem those. So
how do you prevent underage drinking?
Our security team is checking IDs. So even if they purchase a ticket to the crawl, but they're not of age, obviously they can't participate. And additionally, all of the venues are responsible for checking IDs, and they're on-site security checking IDs for all participants.
So if we were to approve, say, 1,000, how many security is it that you're providing, and do you know how many security that how many venues? I'm sorry, how many venues you believe that you would work with?
Yeah, currently, for the amount of tickets that we are predicting, right now I have 9 venues participating in the event as it stands right now. With 1,000 people, we would expand that a little bit more, probably try to get closer to 15 venues just to make sure we have large enough spaces for everyone, and that there is no issues with capacity. Additionally, our crawls are like we don't have set time frames for our crawls, so they are choose your own adventure crawls. So if a venue were to hit capacity, the crawlers are able to go to another venue that may have more capacity than the one that they attempted to go to in the first place.
More. Any questions by any other board members? Go ahead, Mr. Short.
Good morning still. Mrs. Bean, Miss Bean?
Good morning.
Okay. Now, when did you apply for this?
The R1 for Halloween?
Yeah.
I believe it was in July.
Okay. Are you
May have been
aware,
beginning
are you
August.
aware that on that Saturday, October the 26th, that they're gonna be several other pub crawls in town?
Yes, it was kind of, we had this conversation last year during our fact-finding hearing, and I believe a lot of those are occurring in DuPont, if I'm not mistaken, in that neighborhood. That's why we actually ended up moving our events to Penn Quarter, so as to not conflict.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So that the city could function a little better, because right now, I think we've already approved somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,500 people for DuPont.
Okay.
And if you've been keeping up with the news in Washington, like a lot of other major cities, our police department isn't really up to par right now as far as the number of officers.
Okay.
Covering different events in different parts of town might be difficult for MPD. Have you contacted anybody at MPD or anybody for trash pickup or anything like that?
Trash pickup, yes, we have Bayside Cleaning that's going to be doing our cleanup. I submitted a new pub crawl event form with all of our venues listed, and I did contact them to make sure that they had availability to provide our cleanup, and they said that they did. I don't have that estimate back from them just yet. I did send an email yesterday saying to ABCA that whenever I get the estimate, I will send that through. I have not contacted anybody from PD, but I certainly can if that is being requested.
Well, isn't that a part of the process that you go through when you fill out an application?
Yes, the emails get sent, but I haven't personally connected with anybody there. They're notified. They get notified, but
you did send emails.
Yes, correct.
And you didn't get any response.
No, not that I have seen. No.
Okay, let me ask you this. Suppose we were just to give you 500. Could you deal with just 500?
I believe so. Yeah, for sure. We haven't done.
That way we won't stretch the police department too thin, because I think there's also going to be one on U Street. So the 26th is a very popular date, and so
yeah, yeah.
I don't believe Mr. Short. I don't remember if
I remember the numbers. I wrote them all down, Mr. Chair, for the 26th.
I'm talking about a different question. I believe that if I don't believe you need a license for 500. That's what I'm saying. So I believe I forget the number off the top of my head. I don't think if you would
200, Mr. Chairman.
I apologize, sir, but anyway.
So
go ahead.
she'd agreed to 500 if that's
No,
okay
Mr.
with you.
Short, you propose a number to say, and I think it's unfair for us, the board, to just throw a number down to say.
Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, and I know I will not be here much longer as a board member, but over my 12 years on this board, I know we have talked to people about different numbers. In fact, the very last pub crawl season, I talked to a gentleman who wanted a 1,500, and he wound up going down. And I think I won't mention that person's name or his pub crawl, but I think he's also going to be having one. But anyway, so Wes, we have done that previously, Mr. Chair. You might not remember. I know you're quite busy and you have a large practice. But if she will say 500, I would be willing to vote for that. And I think that if she's going to follow through with the cleanup, the police notifications, and all those other things that are required, I wouldn't not have a problem. But I do have a problem with 1,000, because we're going to have police on U Street with pub crawls. We're going to have policemen. So they're going to be stretched a little thin. And if she agrees to 500, what's wrong with that, Mr. Chair? You have a problem with that?
My problem is that if any licensee puts the number out and say, I want 1, 2, 3, or 4, that's fine. but I think it's unfair for the board to impose numbers on
I
any
wasn't imposing anything, Mr. Chairman. I simply explained to the person who's making this application, Ms. Bean, that there are other pub crawls in town and that we don't have a lot of police officers to be out there. There's a lot of other things happening in town, and downtown on that weekend it's going to be crowded. If she agrees to 500, I don't have any problem signing off, but I have a problem right now with 1,000, knowing that we're going to have pub crawls on U Street. We're going to have over 4,500 people on Connecticut Avenue. And I'm just trying to be reasonable, Mr. Chair. I don't think what I'm saying here is unreasonable. And I'd like to ask her, do you think I'm being unreasonable, or Ms. Bean, asking you about 500?
Certainly not. I don't see an issue with 500. We, when we fill out the applications, we're not sure exactly where ticket sales are going. But we've never done an event that big in DC, quite honestly. So I don't think it'll be an issue for us to cap our event at $4.99, just to, help out the area. I don't think that'll be an issue.
Well, thank you. On behalf of public safety people in this city and people that know public safety in this city, I'd like to thank you for thinking reasonably, like I'm thinking reasonably, that we not stretch our police department too thin. And so I hope that you have a successful pub crawl with 500. And I hope that we can just move on with this, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Bean.
Thank you.
Ms. Bean, are you amending your request from 1,000? Is that what you're asking? Are you amending your request for what the approval that you're seeking, ma'am?
Yes. Yeah. We'll amend it.
I'm asking a question, ma'am. I didn't ask you to. I just said I'm asking a question. So, all right. So since you're formally amending your request for 500, then the number that's been requested is 500. And with any other questions by any other board members? Well, since in this particular case, Ms. Bean is amending her request for 500, then I make a motion that we approve this application for 500. Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second that motion.
Mr. Short, I second the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. The board, therefore, ma'am, will approve your pub crawl for no more than 500 participants. Thank you very much, ma'am. Have a great day.
You as well.
Right. You can pick up your application. You can pick up the license. Probably should be either today or more likely tomorrow is a better time.
Perfect.
You should be able to pick up your license by tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Good
Perfect.
luck.
Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye. We have now disposed of our afternoon calendar. I'm sorry, the morning calendar. Let's go to our afternoon. The first case that's scheduled for this afternoon, is case number 23-251-00007. Excuse me, Abigail Room, license number 10768. This case has been canceled. The parties entered into an offer in compromise on September 18th, 2024. See board order number 2024-640. The next case in our calendar is case number 24-PRO-00078, CREM, C-R-E-M-E, license number 128670. This hearing is canceled due to the approval of a settlement agreement. See board order number 2024-648. The next case on the calendar is a fact-finding hearing on the Fitzgerald of Palisades, license number 129529. This hearing has been rescheduled to October 2nd at 1:30 p.m. And the last matter on our calendar for today is case number 24-PRO-00080, Positronics, license number 127977. This hearing has been rescheduled to October 9th at 1:30 p.m. We're now at the end of our calendar for the day. And so since we're now at the end of our calendar for the day, let us now go to our legal agenda. The first matter on our legal agenda is a review of an offer in compromise in lieu of a hearing dated September 23rd, 2024, for case number 24 CIT 00091, FO VET, license number 116771. The offer in compromise for this case is as follows. Charge 1, failed to file required quarterly statement, second secondary tier violation. Statutory authority, DC Code Section 25113B2A. There is a fine of $500 to be paid within 30 days, or the license shall be suspended indefinitely until the fine has been paid, and submission of pending quarterly statement if they have already not been submitted. I make a motion that the offer in compromise be accepted. Is there a second?
Mr. Grant, I second the motion.
Mr. Grant, I second the motion. We have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Janice and I agree. The matter passed 3-0. Number 2, review of an offer in compromise in lieu of a hearing date September 23rd, 2024 for case number 24251-00007, SAUF SAUF House HAUS, license number 086803. The offer in compromise is as follows. Charge 1, allowed the establishment to be used for an unlawful purpose. Statutory authority, DC Code Section 25823A2. This charge has been dismissed. Charge 2, exceeded approved occupancy. Statutory authority, DC Code Section 25762B1. There is a fine of $2,000 within 30 days, or the license shall be suspended indefinitely until the fine has been paid. I make a motion that the offer in compromise be accepted. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short, I second the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. Number 3, review of consent motion to continue protest hearing dated September 19th, 2024 in case number 24PRO00082. This is Fish Shop DC, license number 128628. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Grant, I second the motion.
Mr. Grant, I second the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed to 3-0. Number 4, review of the request for off-site storage of documents dated September 17th, 2024 by Provincia, PROVIDENCIA, license number 125122. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short, I second the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. We now move to our legal agenda, medical cannabis. The first matter on legal agenda, medical cannabis, is the review of an ANC resolution dated September 16th, 2024, passed by Advisory Neighborhood Commission 2G on the topic of protesting medical cannabis license. This is an FYI for the board. Number 2, review of a protest extension deadline between Advisory Neighborhood Commission 8A and City Grown license number 125479. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Grant, I second the motion.
Mr. Grant, I second the motion. We have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. We now move to our legal agenda, medical cannabis addendum. The only matter on this agenda, it's the review of our request for summary closure hearing dated September 24th, 2024. This is in Farms DC Cannabis Store / Stones, STONERZ, Farms, FARMERZ, Stoners, STONERZ, DC. This is in case number 24 ULC 00017. I make a motion that we schedule this matter for hearing. Is there a second?
Mr. Grant, I second the motion.
Mr. Grant, I second the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. We now move to our licensing agenda. The first matter on our licensing agenda, review application for stipulated license with letter of ANC support for a transfer of location to 700 Pennsylvania Avenue Southeast, second floor, with class change to Class B Internet Retailer. This is for Radici, RADICI, license number 093687. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short, I second the motion. We have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. Number 2, review our request to remove the license from safekeeping to operate using the stipulated license. This is for Radici, RADICI, license number 093687. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Grant, I second the motion.
Mr. Grant, I second the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. Number 3, review application for a class change from Retailer B Full Service Grocery to Retailer B Internet. This is for Radici, RADICI, license number 093687. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Grant, I second the motion.
Mr. Grant, I second the motion. We have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. Number 4, review request to extend safekeeping of license. This is the Roberts Law Group, license number 083728. I make a motion that we approve this request through March 31st, 2025. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short, I second the motion. We have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. Number 5, review request to extend safekeeping of license. This is for Iraq Line, license number 116082. I make a motion that we approve this request through March 31st, 2025. Is there a second?
Mr. Grant, I second the motion.
Mr. Grant, I second the motion. We have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr.
Short. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. Number 6, review application to extend safekeeping of license. This is for Radici, license number 093739. I make a motion that we approve this request through March 31st, 2025. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short, I second the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. Number 14, review application for a new Class CX multipurpose facility. This is for Uptown LLC, license number 129646. I make a motion that we schedule a fact-finding hearing. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short, I second the motion. We have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. Number 15, review application for a change of hours. This is for Covex Liquors, license number 106551. I make a motion that we placard this matter. Is there a second?
Mr. Grant, I second the motion.
Mr. Grant, I second the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. Number 16, review application for Game of Skills endorsement to include up to 5 machines offering the game District Edge skill by Pacromatic. This is for Mariachi Lounge. License number 122495. I make a motion that we placard this matter. Is there a second?
Mr. Grant, I second the motion.
Mr. Grant has seconded the motion. We have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. Number 17, review application for change of hours to inside operations and live entertainment. This is for El Supremo Italian Restaurant. License number 129516. I make a motion that we placard this matter. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short has seconded the motion. We have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. Number 18, review application for Sidewalk Cafe endorsement with 8 seats. This is for Nanny O'Brien's Irish Pub, license number 076279. I make a motion that we placard this. Is there a second?
Mr. Grant, I second the motion.
Mr. Grant has seconded the motion. We have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. Number 19, review application for the carry out and delivery endorsement. This is for Players Club, license number 108190. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short has seconded the motion. We have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. We now move to our licensing supplemental calendar agenda. The one matter, review request to renew the storage facility permit issued October 4th, 2023 for a facility located at 3521 V Street Northeast. This is UOVO Wine, license number 23SC01150. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Grant, I second the motion.
Mr. Grant has seconded the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. We now move to our cancellation agenda. The ABC board will be canceling the following license for the reasons outlined below. Flower Child, license number 109929. The licensee requests cancellation. I make a motion that the ABC board cancels this license. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short has seconded the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. Let's now do the board's temporary one-day and substantial change docket. On the board's temporary one-day and substantial change docket, there are 25 applicants. I'm going to review the names of all 25. I'm going to review the names, the category, the approved numbers, the events, the dates, the event, the date, the license number, and the license. All right, so the first applicant is a request from Yetta Bungie, Yetta Bungie. This is for one-day license class F. This is an award ceremony. This is October 10th. The license number is 129973. 40 attendees, 1 security guard. Approval. Number 2, a request from Lana L. Zane, a one-day license class F, concert live music performance. This is September 25th. The license number is 130001. 153 security guards for approval. Number 3, a request from Lana L. Zane, one-day license class F, concert live music performance. September 30th. The license number is 130002. 150 attendees, 3 security guards. Number 4, a request from Jenna, Jenna Smith, one-day license class F. Mixer and Cooking, October 10th. The license number is 130013. 60 attendees, 2 security guards. Number 4, a request from Rafi Sarahawan, Sahakyan, a one-day license class F, American Food Festival. This is October 4th through October 5th. The license number is 130027, 200 attendees per day, 4 security guards. Number 6, a request from Ellen Rolfes, ROLFES, one-day license class F, Awards Banquet, September 28th. The license number is 130039, 85 attendees, 2 security guards. Number 7, a request from Lana Damian, Damian, one-day license class F, National Mall Tours, October 10th, license number 130043, 30 attendee, 1 security guard. Number 8, a request from Talisa, Talisa Mickens, Mickens, one-day license class F, pickleball tournament, September 26th. The license number is 130062, 75 attendees, 2 security guards. Number 9, another request from Talisa Mickens, a one-day license class F, pickleball tournament, September 29th. License number 130063, 75 attendees, 2 security guards. Number 10, another request from Talisa Mickens, one-day license class F, pickleball tournament, October 2nd, license number 130064, 75 attendees, 2 security guards. All of these are approved. Number 11, another request from Talisa Mickens, a one-day license class F, pickleball tournament, October 6th. License number 130065, 75 attendees, 2 security guards. Approval. Number 12, a request from Eric Caruso, one-day license class G, wedding, October 12th. The license number is 129976, 100 attendees, 2 security guards. Approval. Number 13, request from Torrance Swain, one-day license class G, festival. License. This is on September 27th. The license number is 129989, and it's 432 attendees per day. No more than 432 attendees per, which is the occupancy of the building. So, number 14, a request from Vincento Florino Jr., a one-day license class G. This is for a private event. This is September 30th through October 3rd. The license number is 129998, 150 attendees, 3 security guards. And number 15, a request from Robert Jordan, one-day license class G, private event, September 27th. The license number is 130022, 60 attendees, 2 security guards. Number 18, a request from Patrick D. Batista, one-day license class G, Western Line Dance, license number October 5th, 2024. License number is 130023, 200 attendees, 4 security guards. Approval. Number 17, another request from Patrick De Batista, one-day license class G, Western Line Dance, October 26th. License number 130024, 200 attendees, 4 security guards. Approval. Number 18, a request from Carl Kissel, Cissel, one-day license class G, soft opening. This is for September 27th through September 29th. The license number is 130044, 75 attendees, 2 security guards. Approval. Number 19, Open City, one-day substantial change receptions. Nature of substantial change to use license off premises at 3101 Wisconsin Avenue Northwest. This is on September 25th. The license number is 072380, substantial change license 24SC01014. Approval. Number 20, Right Proper Brewing Company, one-day substantial change reception. Nature of substantial change to extend sidewalk to the street for Art All Night. This is September 28th. The license number 092357, substantial change license 24SC01025, approval. Number 21, the Salt Line, one-day substantial change, Oyster Wars. Nature of substantial change, use license off premises adjacent to the establishment with live entertainment. This is October 13. License number 102592, substantial change license 24SC01028, approval. Number 22, Regmo Promo Holdings Inc. Pub Crawl. This is the Hip Hop and R&B Bar Crawl MLK Weekend. This is January 18th, 2025. License number 104072, substantial change. License is 24 PCE 00027 for approval for 1,000 participants. Number 23, Regmo Promo Holdings Inc. Pub Crawl. The Hip Hop Halloween Bar Crawl. This is on October 26, 2024. Condition approved on March 6, 2024. The license number is 104072. Substantial change license 24 PC 00004. 1,000 participants. Approval for 1,000 participants. Number 24, Lindy Promotions LLC Pub Crawl Nightmare on M Street. Event Nightmare on M Street. This is October 26th. Condition approved on July 24th, 2024. The license number is 110455. Substantial change. License 24 PC 00018. Approved for 2,000 participants. Number 25, Project DC Events, Pub Crawl, DC Halloween Crawl 24. DC Halloween Crawl 24. This is October 26th. Condition approved on July 24th, 2024. The license number is 105182. Substantial change license 24 PCE 00019. And this is for 2,500 participants. I therefore make a motion that the ABC Board approve the agenda items with the recommendations of the chair. Is there a second?
Mr. Grant, I second the motion.
Mr. Grant has seconded the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. We now move to our administrative docket. On the licensed administrative docket for Wednesday, September 25th, there are 15 requests, 15 applicants, and without objection, I make a motion that ABC Board approve all the applications on the licensed administrative docket for Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. Is there a second?
With no objection, Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short and Mr. Grant have seconded the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. And we now go to our final agenda for the morning. It's the medical cannabis licensing agenda. And the first, I will review the agenda and the recommendations, and at the end of the list, I will ask the ABC Board to approve the recommendations made by the chair on this agenda. So this is the conditional retailer and internet retail applications. Number 1, review of social equity application for conditional retailer license. This is for Good Smoke Inc. License number 128899, approval. Number 2, review of social equity application for conditional internet retailer license. This is for Herbivore LLC, license number 128879, approval. Number 3, review of social equity application for conditional retail license. This is for Tokyo Findica LLC, license number 128842, denial. The applicant failed to provide the required documents. Number 4, review of social equity application for conditional retailer license for Tokyo Findica LLC, license number 128843, denial. The applicant failed to provide the required documents. Number 5, review of social equity application for conditional retail license. This is for Tokyo Findica LLC, license number 128851. Denial. The applicant failed to provide the required documents. Number 6, which is a standard retail application. Number 6, review of social equity application for a new retail license with delivery endorsement. Good Smoke Inc., license number 128696. I make a motion that we placard this matter. I therefore make a motion that ABC Board approve these agenda items based on recommendations made by the chair. Is there a second?
Mr. Grant, I second the motion.
Mr. Grant has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 3-0. We're now at the end of our calendar and agenda items for the day. And if there are no other further business, I will make a motion that we adjourn for the day. As chairperson of the Alcoholic Beverage and Cannabis Board for the District of Columbia, in accordance with Title III, Chapter 405, Office of Open Government, I move that ABC Board hold a closed meeting on October 2nd for the purpose of discussing and hearing reports concerning ongoing or planned investigations of alleged criminal or civil misconduct or violations of law or regulations, and seeking legal advice from our legal counsel on the board's investigative agenda, legal agenda, and licensing agenda for October 2nd, as published in the DC Register on September 27th. Is there a second?
Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I second the motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. As it appears that the motion has passed 3-0, I hereby give notice that ABC Board will hold this closed meeting pursuant to the Open Meetings Act. Notice will also be posted on the ABC Board Hearing Room Bulletin Board, placed on the electronic calendar and ABCA's website, and published in the DC Register in as timely a manner as practical. The ABC Board is now adjourned for the day. I would like to thank the members of the public who participated in our hearings today, and also our board members who gave us their active participation. Without any further, we are now adjourned for the day. I now ask all board members to return to executive session for further development. Thank you.